He is on a quarantine right now. He's unable to make it to court this morning.
I'm sorry, what's spell the last name?
Macedo. Macedo. Eric.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then whenever Your Honor's ready.
And Your Honor, this is the court interpreter, Pedro Davis. I don't see any party on today's list identified as a Spanish speaker. I can stand by until we have that confirmation.
Can the jail confirm no Spanish speakers? Okay, we'll ask again in a few moments.
Thank you. I'll stand by.
Your Honor, this is the jail. I've confirmed there's no Spanish interpreter needed today.
There's no Spanish speakers?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. The interpreter is excused then.
Thanks very much, Your Honor. I'll sign off.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be with you in a moment.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am. What's your name?
Lisa Andrade.
Number 2. Thank you. Okay, so you're charged with domestic violence assault and domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. And let me see here. I'm going to release you from custody. Your next court date is at Pima County Justice Court, and that will be October 7th at 10:30 a.m. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cool.
Downstairs, correct.
Hello, what's your name?
Sus Ramon Minori Higuera.
All right. Thank you. All right, you've got a warrant on a domestic violence case from 2020 on in Pima County Justice Court. You've got another warrant for assault and criminal damage from 2021, also in Pima County Justice Court. Warrant for driving under the influence case. This is from 2023, also Justice Court, and another warrant for domestic violence from 2022, also Pima County Justice Court. The judge in that court wanted me to hold you on each one of these on $2,499 bonds, which I will do. Attorney Amanda Bynum is appointed to represent you, and you're going to be seen on video on September 9th at 1 p.m. on each one of these. You're excused.
Have a seat.
Hello, what's your name?
Daniel Beckwith.
You've got a couple of warrants of Tucson City Court. One is on a domestic violence case. You failed to appear in court on December 7th of last year and apparently was not in good contact with your appointed lawyer. And you've got another one. This is trespassing, also failure to appear. So what happened to you, sir? Why didn't you come to court when you were supposed to and stay in touch with your public defender?
I lost contact with my lawyer, and
I
they
know
was
that.
at
Why?
time.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I forgot to follow up with her the following day. I was also looking for work at that same time.
City court bond is set at 250. If you post the bond, you're going to come to court on October 19th at 9:30. If you don't post the bond, video review is September 17th at 1:45. The public defender is reappointed. That's the city case. You've also got a matter in Pima County Justice Court, an assault. Don't have contact with the alleged victim and stay away from the location of the alleged incident. On that matter, I'm going to release you with a court date of October 7th at 9:30 at Pima County Justice Court. You're excused.
Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Dennis Chalmers.
Yeah, one moment. You charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, criminal damage, and with driving under the influence. I'm gonna order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, don't drive without a valid license, and do not commit any acts of domestic violence. I'm also ordering that you not have contact of any kind with Lisa Buck, and that you stay away from her home and workplace. If you have belongings at her home, you get a one-time return visit with a law enforcement officer present to get your belongings. I'm going to release you from custody. Your next court date is October 7th at 10:30 a.m. at Pima County Justice Court. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
James? What's your last name? James. Oh, James. James, right here. Hold on.
Hello, what is your name?
Eleanor James.
Okay, one moment. You have a case pending in Tucson City Court on domestic violence assault. You failed to appear in court back about a year ago, actually. You've got another case, criminal trespass. You failed to appear in court on that one as well. That's also about a year old. Got another one, criminal trespass from July of last year. You failed to appear on that matter. And criminal trespass, and you failed to appear on that matter. These are all Tucson City Court cases. You also have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a domestic violence case. So one moment here. Pima County Justice Court bond is set in the amount of $200. Amanda Bynum is appointed to represent you, and your court date is Monday, the 9th at 1:00 p.m. Tucson City Court bond is set in the amount of $250. City public defenders appointed to represent you, Video review on that matter is September 17th at 1:45. Tucson City Court. Excuse me. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Jillian Lopez.
All right, let's see what we've got. You got a couple cases in Tucson City Court, one involving and domestic violence, and the other one trespassing and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have quite a history of not coming to court. $500 bond. The city public defender is reappointed, and video review is scheduled for September 17th at 1:45 Tucson City Court. And then you've got a similar situation at City Court. And let's see. Bond. All right, South Tucson Bond said 200. Attorney Michael Vaughn is appointed to represent you. You're going to be seen on video on Monday at 10 o'clock. South Tucson City Court. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Jacob Lovejoy.
Right. Well, that's the void context. Why? You're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage. No order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't have contact of any kind with Leonard Simmons and stay away from his home and workplace. Bond is set in the amount of 500. Attorney Anna Dennis is appointed. And you are going to be seen on video on Monday at 1 p.m. Pima County Justice Court. Excused.
Thank you.
Morales.
Hello, what's your name?
Juan Morales.
All right. Okay, you're charged with domestic violence interfering with judicial proceedings. We will order no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not have contact of any kind with Maria Ojeda. Stay away from her home and workplace.
Okay.
Bond is set at $2,499. Obey the order of protection. Attorney Amanda Bynum is appointed to your case. You're going to be seen on Monday at 1:00 p.m. on video. You're excused.
Rodriguez.
Hello, what's your name?
Rodriguez Peter.
You're on probation at Tucson City Court for several cases, trespassing, threats and intimidation. And you failed to appear in court on a probation review hearing. You were also charged with trespassing and possession of a shopping cart. You failed to appear in court in that matter. And what's this? Okay, that's probation case. And you've also got a warrant out of South Tucson City Court on a reckless burning case. Tucson City Court bond is set in the amount of 200. Video review September 17th, 1:45. City Public Defender appointed. South Tucson City Court. Reckless burning, that one is set for a bond is set in the amount of 500. Attorney Michael Vaughn is appointed, and you're going to be seen on video on that on Monday at 10 a.m. South Tucson City Court. You're excused.
Thank you.
Maya?
Hello, what's your name?
Sergio Samayoa.
Okay. You charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct offense in Pima County Justice Court, also possession of drug paraphernalia, no order, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't have contact of any kind with Karina Galvan or the minor child Jaden. Stay away from their respective homes and workplaces. I'm going to release you with those conditions. Court date at Pima County Justice Court is October 7th at 10:30. You also have a case in Tucson City Court, animal case, neglect, no shelter, and neglect tryout, and you failed to appear. I'm releasing you on that matter as well. I'm ordering that you not possess or own any animals. Your next court, and I'm releasing you, your court date at Tucson City Court is October 8th at 2:00. Pima County, October 7th at 10:30, two different courts, two different dates. You're excused.
Thank you.
Wilkins,
Hello, what's your name?
Mitchell Wilkins.
You're charged with domestic violence assault. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. Do not have contact with Leanne Hubbard. Stay away from her home and workplace. You're released from custody and your court date at Pima County Justice Court is October 7th at 10:30 a.m. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
Anna,
Hello, what's your name?
Selena Barrera.
Okay, one moment. You're charged with domestic violence, assault, no injury, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 2 counts. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence and don't have contact of any kind with Derek Barrera or Priscilla Paredes Ibarra. Stay away from their home and workplaces. You get to return once with a law enforcement officer to retrieve personal belongings. You are released from custody. Your court date at Tucson City Court is October 7th at 9 a.m. You're excused.
Thank you.
Temple.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Robert Hempel.
You're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage, and driving under the influence. And let's check on something here. Don't possess any alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, and do not drive without a valid license, and no acts of domestic violence. I'm going to release you from custody. Your court date at Tucson City Court is October 15th at 1:30, and I'm not going to do so at the moment, but if you qualify for a public defender, you can apply for one at your court date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Yeah.
License.
Hello, what's your name?
Taylor Hermanson.
All right. You're charged with domestic violence assault, no injury, and with domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not have contact with Prada Charvino. Stay away from her home and workplace. You get a one-time return visit to get personal belongings, but only with a police escort. You are released from custody with these conditions. Your court date at Tucson City Court is October 15th at 1:30. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hello, what's your name?
Patricia Jimenez.
Okay. So you're charged with trespassing and disorderly conduct. And you previously were charged with being in the park after hours and failure to appear in court on that matter. I'm going to order that you not have contact with any alleged victims, stay away from the incident locations, no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to release you from custody, and your court date at Tucson City Court is October 7th at 2:00. You're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
H.
Hello, what's your name?
Russell Page.
Page, you're charged with domestic violence harassment by communication and domestic violence disorderly conduct, domestic violence criminal trespass. And let's review this for a moment. Page. Okay, no contact with Carly Ford. Don't return to her home or workplace, don't possess or consume any alcoholic beverages, and don't commit any acts of domestic violence. You are released from custody. Your court date is October 15th, 1:30 at Tucson City Court. You're released. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please.
Hello, what's your name?
Henry Reyes.
Mr. Reyes, you're on probation and you're going to report minor probation on domestic violence matter. Petition for revoke has been filed alleging that you failed to attend counseling as required. You failed to attend monthly monitoring meetings and you failed to submit your analysis / breathalyzer. And probation has indicated that they have had no contact with you. Bond is set in the amount of $2,499. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. Video review is scheduled for September 25th at 1:30. And you are excused.
Thank you.
It's a little far off, isn't it? Yeah. No, for in custody. Hello, what's your name?
Alejandro Barada, sir.
You're charged with domestic violence, criminal trespass. No order that you have no contact with Mariah Fletcher. Stay away from her home and workplace. I am told that you are on probation for 5 different domestic violence cases. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. Appoint the city public defender. Video review is scheduled for September 18th at 1:30 at Tucson City Court. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hello, what's your name?
Joaquin Garza Bustos.
Okay, one moment. You're charged with domestic violence, animal cruelty. I am ordering that you have no contact with the alleged victim, who I understand is your sister, and that you not possess or own any animals. Stay away from your sister's home and workplace. And no acts of domestic violence. Let's see. The county attorney holds a $5,000 bond, and we're going to hear from the public defender on that issue.
Judge, we're asking that Mr. Bustos is released to pretrial services. He is fully employed. He has ties to Tucson and no criminal history.
We'll hear from the county attorney.
State submits on the record, Your Honor.
I'm gonna release you the supervision of pretrial service, cooperate with them. I'm gonna add the conditions, by the way, no alcohol or drugs and no firearms or other weapons. Your court date is September 27th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Oops.
Morning,
What's your name?
Arthur Hunter.
Mr. Hunter, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court. The charges listed on this warrant are kidnapping, inflicting death / injury / I'll omit that one, and aid in felony, aggravated assault, domestic violence, 2 of them. Another couple that I'll omit, also assaults though. Preventing use of telephone in an emergency, and kidnap / death / injury / aid in felony, and the other count I'll omit reading. The amount on this warrant is listed at 50,000. And the county attorney is asking that I hold you on a $500,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking that Mr. Hunter is held on a $25,000 bond. He did just get out of prison today. So we're asking that he's held on a $25,000 bond. The warrant out of Nevada, he is able to take care of it. He is in touch with his attorney from Nevada. And the last time he spoke with his attorney in Nevada was in June for the Nevada warrant. So we're asking for a $25,000 bond.
Okay, hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, this individual has an absolutely epic and terrifying record of violent crime. The state has absolutely no reason to believe that he will appear, given that he just got out, probably doesn't want to go back. There's prohibited possessor. There's all sorts of other crimes of severe moral turpitude. This man is at risk to society wherever he is at. State asks for the $500,000.
All right, thank you. Don't have contact with the alleged victim or victims. Stay away from their respective or the person's residence and workplace. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons, and do not commit any acts of domestic violence. Bond is set at $100,000, and your court date next is September 13th at 1:30. The public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, what's your name?
Jeffrey Sierra.
you've got two separate complaints. The first one is weapons misconduct as a prohibited possessor. We're gonna order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And on that matter, the county attorney is
Your Honor,
saying that I hold you on a $250,000 bond. You start to say something?
Your Honor, the 250 would cover both, Your Honor.
Oh, both, okay. All right. And the other one I will omit reading. Let's hear from the public defender.
Judge, we're asking for a $10,000 bond for Mr. Sierra. The charges are non-violent. And he does have a probation hold, and he's currently detained without bond. So we're asking for the $10,000 bond for time credit.
Okay. Okay, and let's hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, given the nature of both charges, this is the last person that would want possessing a weapon, and yet he doesn't seem to, considering the duration of the probation, it should be abundantly clear that this person should not be having any weapons whatsoever. He doesn't seem to internalize that, and therefore is a threat to society.
Thank you. On the weapons charge, bond is set in the amount of 25,000. September 17th, 1:30, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. And on the other matter, bond is set at another 5,000. Same court date, same public defender. You're excused.
Yes.
Hello, what is your name?
Joanna Acuña?
Oh. I think this is one that that pretrial services had asked to continue. They were not able to interview. For any objection?
No, Judge, considering how important considering how important the pretrial services interview is, we don't object.
All right, you're gonna be continued to this evening.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I said,
Hello, what's your name?
Robert Ballesteros.
Okay. You're charged with possession of a firearm by prohibited possessor, so we're gonna order no firearms or other weapons. County attorney's asking for a $10,000 bond. And we'll hear from the public defender.
Judge, we're asking that Mr. Ballesteros is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $2,000 bond. The charges are nonviolent, and if he were released, he'd go to his sister's house.
All right, we'll hear from the county attorney.
State submits on the record, Your Honor.
Bond is set in the amount of $2,000. September 17th, 1:30 is your court date. Public defender is appointed, and you have another case, which, let's see what that is. Misdemeanors: driving on a revoked license, failure to stop at a red light, failure to yield to emergency vehicle. Okay, no alcohol or drugs, don't drive without a valid license. Bond is set in the amount of $250. Attorney Joe Gukin is appointed to represent you on that matter. And you're gonna be seen on Monday at 1:00 p.m. Actually, wait a minute. He's supposed to be set out for Wednesday, okay.
And Judge, will this be in city court or justice court?
Justice Court, and the next court date is September 11th at 1 p.m. Okay, you're excused.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Bates,
Hello, what's your name?
Good morning. My name is Michelle Biggs.
Okay, one moment. Biggs. Nope, I don't. You're charged with aggravated domestic violence. I'm going to order that you not commit any act of domestic violence. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. And county attorney's asking for a $10,000 bond. And we'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking that Ms. Biggs is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, an $1,100 bond. She's a lifelong resident of Tucson. She's self-employed as a carpenter and has jobs this weekend. She has no felony history. If she were released, she'd go to her friend's house. Additionally, the victim is her brother. He wants contact with her and he does not object to her release. And he confirmed that she does not live with him. So we're asking that she's released to pretrial services or an $1,100 bond if they're not.
We'll hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, we're looking at AgDV for an individual who already had a previous conviction for AgDV as well as DVDOC with a failure to appear. Pending misto charges of DV in Marana City Court and is currently on probation for DV charges. A higher bond is justified here, Your Honor, $10,000.
All right, thank you. Let's have bond in the amount of $1,500. September 17th, 1:30 is your next court date. Public defender appointed. You're excused. Sorry.
Hello, Your Honor. My name is Rainey at City. He'll ask you if he has questions. Rainey at City.
Okay, one moment. You've got a couple of matters. The first one is 2 counts of aggravated driving under the influence and endangerment. So we're going to order no alcohol or illegal drugs and do not drive without a valid license. County attorney's requesting $75,000 bond. And you also have a fugitive warrant. Out of Flagstaff Justice Court listing a $25,000 bond. Charge of assault. We'll hear from defense counsel.
We're asking that Ms. City, thank you, is released to pretrial services, or in the alternative, if you're not inclined, we're asking for a $2,000 bond. She has lifelong ties to Arizona. She has no felony history. She is fully employed at Twice as Nice. If she were released, she'd go to her boss's house. So we're asking that she's given the opportunity to resolve this warrant and take care of these matters under pretrial services supervision.
Okay, let's hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, we're looking at 2 counts of ag DUI, which means there's likely a prior. She had a BAC of north of 0.3. This was in the parking lot of TMC Hospital. 3 prior DUI arrests. License was suspended for the arrest, and there was a passenger. This person was incredibly intoxicated with a passenger in the vehicle and has been arrested for DUI before. This person is a risk to the community. And ties to Arizona, this is a big state. Flagstaff is quite a bit away. So the state has concerns not only about this person continuing to drive despite not having a license, but being willing to continue to drive with an alcohol BAC of north of 0.3 and with passengers and near a hospital.
All right, thank you.
Judge, if I may also add, she is a member of the Navajo Nation as well, which is all over Arizona.
Okay, and why are you telling me that?
Just she has very deep ties to Arizona.
All right, thank you. Bond on the DUI matter is set at 10,000, and the court date is September 17th at 1:30. Public defender appointed. Bond on the warrant is set at 15,000. And the court is there September 23rd at 1:30. Okay, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Beans.
Hello, what's your name?
Andre Gaines. How you doing, sir?
I am doing great. So, you are charged with unlawful failure to return rented or leased property. State's recommending that I release you to the supervision of pretrial services. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs, don't drive without a valid license, no firearms or other weapons, release to pretrial, cooperate with pretrial services. And we're gonna set a court date of September 27th at 1:30. Point to public defender. You've got another matter as well. Let's see what that is. Criminal damage. Don't have any contact with the alleged victim. I'm gonna release you on this misdemeanor case with a court date of October 7th at 10:30, and that'll be at Pima County Justice Court. You're excused.
Judge, you said October 7th at 9:30?
At 10:30, Pima County Justice Court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Hello, what is your name?
On Your Honor, first name Gilbert Andre Castellum.
Okay, one moment. You're charged with discharging a firearm in the city limits and with endangerment. I'm going to order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons, and you're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. and don't have any contact with the alleged victim. And stay away from the victim's home and workplace. State's asking for $25,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, Mr. Gastelum is released to pretrial services. Pretrial has identified him as a level 1 nonviolent felony. He has no criminal history. He has ties to Tucson. If he were released, he'd go home, and he is fully employed as an optometrist assistant, a technician.
We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, this individual apparently thought it was advisable to get drunk, then pull out a firearm, start fiddling with it, and then it discharged and pierced the window of another building, apparently nicked the living room carpet and struck a kitchen cabinet. The state would remind all present there are no accidental discharges, there are only negligent discharges, and when you add alcohol to the mix, this could have been involving a death. Your Honor, this is the height of irresponsibility. It's the height of disregard for the safety of the community. State stands by its recommendation.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $5,000. Your court date is September 17th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed. You're excused.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was the bond on that?
5,000.
Thank you.
Hoover?
Hello, what's your name?
Andrew John Hoover.
Okay. Is there any
Judge,
objection?
if I could just get 1 second to talk to Mr. Hoover. We didn't get a chance to speak earlier.
I'm gonna get.
Judge, I did speak with Mr. Hoover about the circumstances around his pretrial services profile. He said he does not want to waive, does not want to appear tonight.
Okay.
So I guess I do object to continue to tonight.
Oh, shit, yeah. Story.
Oh, let's just. That's okay.
From what I'm seeing in his files, plural, I think he's going to be there for a while anyway.
Thank you. And Judge, I am looking at the inmate lookup, the public view, and it does look like there there are a couple of other matters that are holding him. So he does not want to waive, or he does not want to be continued tonight.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a loser.
Only man is in possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. The state is recommending on that case that I release him to pretrial services.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
No, that's the wrong.
You know,
So we'll order no alcohol or illegal drugs. And don't return to the incident location. Release to pretrial services.
Judge, considering he is being held on other matters, would you consider a $100 bond for time credit?
What other matters is he being held on?
Probation violation. Probation violation from Superior Court.
I see, okay.
And this is you, right?
yes.
And it looks like there's also misdemeanor. He's being held on misdemeanors as well.
From what court?
Marana City Court and Justice Court.
All right. Miranda. $300 bond, court dated September 17th at 1:30, public defender appointed.
Judge, looking at the interim complaint, it seems like he would be eligible for steps or SMART. Can we schedule him into SMART court so he can be screened there?
Sure.
And he, okay.
September 16th at 9. Did you want me to put him in steps as well? Or what?
It looks like to me like he would be eligible for steps, so I think we can. Yeah, the steps and SMART's great. So yeah.
I'm gonna get clean on you like that.
Yeah. Just focus on yourself. Just focus on yourself.
Great.
All right. Steps. Okay. All right. I'm going to read a statement to you about steps, and then I'll be followed up by a question. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released
Yes.
from bail custody, even though you won't be actually?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, you are. Absolutely. That sounds, yeah.
Learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing. Yes, okay.
Thank you so much.
Yep, Smart Court is September 16th at 9. $200 bond, free child services supervision if bond is posted and if you're released. And September 17th at 1:30, public defender. Okay. So let's appreciate that one. And then you've got, what's the next one? You've got a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a trespassing charge. $100 bond. Attorney Jill Gookin is appointed on that one. Video review will be September 11th. Oh, wait a minute. On I gave him the wrong date on the felony matter. Let's see. Smart date. October 22nd would be his preliminary hearing. So let's correct that.
Judge, if I may, because he'll be held in custody, we are not going to waive his preliminary hearing date since he's going to be held in custody anyway.
Okay.
If he were to be released, we would, but considering he's going to be here anyway, and he'll definitely be transported that day.
Okay, we'll keep it then at September 17th. And then there's one more matter, and that is Tucson City Court. JP. Okay, shoplifting from November of last year, failure to appear.
So you.
Shoplifting from last year, and you failed to appear on this matter. And trespassing and failure to appear. The city public defender was previously appointed, and we will reappoint them. Bond is set at 200. Video review September 17th, 1:45. Tucson City Court. Okay, that's it. You're excused.
And Judge, is the public defense appointed on the felony?
Yeah, I believe I said that.
I missed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, one more time. There's a one more Miranda matter.
Oh, is there? Hold on.
Thank God, I'm a real troublemaker.
You can get it all taken care of.
I'm sorry,
We'll get it all taken care of now.
whatever it takes. Oh, just some more.
Ooh, oh yeah, Miranda. What does Miranda want? Shoplifting, drug paraphernalia. And they're asking for a $350 bond. We'll set his bond on that one at 100. And that's gonna be Janet Altschuler.
I'm sure, yeah.
So you have attorneys on these, so you can talk to them about that, okay? They'll be able to get that information.
September 9th, Monday at noon is your court date on that one.
So you might get these all taken care of next week.
Appreciate it.
Okay, that'll do it.
Jacob. Paul.
Hello, what's your name?
Jacob, last name Keck, Koeck.
This is another one with a request for a continuance still this evening. Any objection?
No, Judge.
All right. Okay. See you tonight. Somebody.
I was meant to be there right at that minute. Models. Yep.
Hello, what's your name?
Carlos Lutos.
Charged with theft at means of transportation. I'm gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't drive without a valid license. No firearms or other weapons. No contact with the alleged victim. And no return to the incident location. Release to the supervision of pretrial services. Cooperate with pretrial. Public defender appointed, and your next court date is September 27th at 1:30.
Hold on.
And and you have a misdemeanor charge of driving on a suspended license and possession of drug paraphernalia. Don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol or drugs. And we're gonna release you with a court date. Or wait a minute. No, that's the wrong person. Hold on a minute, I clicked on the wrong case. Matos. Okay, there we go. All right, October 7th, 9:30, you're released on the misdemeanor. Pima.
Thank you.
Okay, you're excused, sir.
Yeah, let me get this for you. You're gonna get you getting out, but you have two court dates. So you have the 27th of September, then October 7th. Wait, you have two court cases in two courts, but one attorney on the felony. So the attorney's only going to talk to you about the felony. Okay, you have to manage the misdemeanor on your own.
Good.
Okay.
Mhm.
Already. Yeah, that's.
Hello, what's your name?
Taylor McCarty.
Okay. All right, you're charged with possession of narcotic drug, possession of dangerous drug, possession of paraphernalia. We're gonna schedule you into smart court, and I have a statement I'm gonna read to you in a moment. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEP that only requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes.
Okay, we'll schedule you under STEPS. We'll order no alcohol or drugs. Don't go back to the incident location. Smart court date is September 16th at 9. And if there's no objection, we'll set the preliminary hearing out to October 22nd at 1:30. And the public defender is appointed.
Make sure you get to court. Okay.
Oh, and release to pretrial services. Cooperate.
Thank you.
You're excused. Hmm? Oh. Stone. Okay. No, what are you pointing to now? Mhm. Right, and just okay. Well, we need to get the officer to. Yeah, right. Okay. There you go. Sure. Okay. What's your name, sir?
Kyle McDonald.
Okay. All right, this is a request from pretrial services to continue to this evening. Is there any objection?
No,
That's all
Judge,
good.
considering how important the pretrial services interview is.
All right.
So I'll continue.
Hey, you're gonna be seen this evening then on your matters.
I'm gonna come outside afterwards.
All right.
Yeah, so you're fine. Yeah.
Hello, what's your name?
Brian White.
Okay. Okay, MOI?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tyree. Olina, Rebecca.
Okay, you've got two complaints. One is organized retail theft and the other one is a fugitive warrant. And organized retail theft.
Your Honor,
Order, huh?
it would appear the state may have misread this at first. On the ORT, state would move for a $5,000 bond. However, there is the Oregon felony warrant listing of 50,000. So
Okay.
Your Honor, this,
Okay, I actually, wasn't able to review all of these ahead of time, so. Just give me a moment.
yes, sir.
Okay, organized retail theft, and I don't have a recommendation from the state on this.
Your Honor, the state recommends $10,000 on the ORT and notes that there is a $50,000 warrant out of Oregon for delivery of controlled substances. State would recommend 50,000 to cover both.
Okay. Let's hear from the public defender.
Judge, we're asking that Mr. Moy is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $5,000 bond. He is fully employed as an electrician. Pretrial services identified this as nonviolent, and he does have confirmed housing. And he'd go home if he were released. And on the fugitive warrant, we're asking for a $5,000 bond. So and the instruction that he has to go and resolve that issue with Oregon.
All right, thank you. Organized retail theft bond is set in the amount of 5,000. Legal defender appointed September 17th at 1:30. No alcohol or illegal drugs and no firearms or other weapons. As to the fugitive warrant, Bond is set at 10,000, legal defender, September 12th at 2:30. You're excused.
Molina,
Hello, what's your name?
Rebecca Eugenio Molina.
Okay. You've got a warrant out of Maricopa County Superior Court. 4 counts of unlawful use of food stamps, fraudulent schemes, and theft by misrepresentation. 3,500 is the amount of bond listed on this warrant. County attorney is asking for 25,000. Let's hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking that Ms. Molina is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, we're asking for a $2,500 bond. If she were, the charge is nonviolent. If she were released, she'd go to her mother's house, and she does have the ability to go to Maricopa to get this taken care of. So we're asking that she's released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $2,500.
Okay, she had the ability to go. Why didn't she go?
Judge, I'm gonna advise that she doesn't answer right now.
Understandable. Let's hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, the defendant is listed as an FTA 6 and an NCA 6. We've already got extreme flight risk. We have an individual with apparent ability to go to Maricopa County to take care of this and did not. Plus, we have the current offense, state statute.
All right, thank you. All that Maricopa asked for was 3,500, so that's what I'm gonna do. Your next review date is October 7th at 9. You're excused.
What's that?
Health.
Murphy,
Hello, what's your name?
Sandra Marie Murphy.
All right. Okay. Okay, I gotta review this for a moment. Okay, you're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct with a weapon. We're gonna order no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. County attorney is asking for $150,000 bond.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Let's hear from the public defender.
Judge, we're asking that Ms. Murphy is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $2,000 bond. She is fully employed. The victim in this case does not object to her release and wants continued contact with her and wants her to return home. In the event that she was not allowed to return home to their shared residence, she can go to her brother's house or her sister's house. So we're asking that she's released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $2,000 bond.
Let's hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, the defendant appears to be a clear and present danger to the victim. She is alleged to have attacked the victim with a crowbar. We're looking at fairly extensive history here. 2000 robbery, theft of means, 1 year DOC with probation revoked, 2005 theft of means, multiple probation violations, 1 year DOC, 2010 ag assault with a deadly weapon, 3.5 years, 2016 4 months DOC. This person seems to have extreme issues with anger control and therefore poses a risk.
I'm really speech on it.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna set bond in the amount of 20,000. Also, don't possess any crowbars. September 17th, 1:30, public defender appointed. You're excused.
Next, City Judge.
Oh, sorry. Hello, what's your name?
Anthony Orozco.
Disorderly conduct with a weapon, and then you have some misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons, and no return to the location of the alleged incidents. And no contact with the alleged victim. The state's asking for a $10,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking that Mr. Orozco is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $3,000 bond. Pretrial has identified these charges as nonviolent. He has significant ties to community, confirmed housing with his mother, I believe. And he's able to do some day laboring. He's able to go every day and he intends to. So we're asking that he's released to pretrial services or a $3,000 bond.
We'll hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, this individual has been rated NCA 5, FTA 6. It's been alleged that he threatened the victim with what turned out to be a BB rifle. However, the victim didn't know that. The inherent nature of the offense with the weapon speaks to the need for a more substantial bond, hence the $10,000 request.
Bond is set in the amount of 10,000. September 17th, 1:30, public defender appointed. And you've got couple of cases in Tucson City Court. Domestic violence, assault with injury, domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, disorderly conduct. This is from February of last year. You failed to appear. You failed to appear in May of last year. And then you've got a drug paraphernalia case from January of this year on which you failed to appear. I'm gonna note the felony hold.
That, he's gonna,
No alcohol or illegal drugs. The prior.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling
How much is it?
10,000.
How much is it?
Prior conditions of release on the DV case remain in effect. $500 bond, city public defender appointed. Video review September 17th at 1:45. You're excused.
Just get me this for you. You're gonna get. It's kind of just open, but finished for you. Right. Take it.
Hello, what's your name?
Mesa Path.
You're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault. You're gonna order that you not have contact of any kind with Alan Van Campen and stay away from his home and workplace. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. He's asked for a no bond hold.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're gonna set a no bond hearing for September 12th at 2:30. Preliminary hearing is September 17th at 1:30. and the public defender is appointed. You're excused. Sorry. Slippery surface.
Stretchers. Oh. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry.
Hello, what's your name?
Divine.
Is that your only name?
Divine Andrew Peoples.
Thank you. All right. You've got a fugitive warrant out of Texas on a charge of larceny.
The state of Texas?
Hold on, let's just right now.
State's asking for a $50,000 bond.
It's a good.
And we'll hear from the public defender.
From where?
Texas, but here, let me.
What's it about?
Give me a second, okay? Judge, we're asking that Mr. Peoples is released to pretrial services with the instruction to go to Texas and resolve this matter. Pretrial services identified this as nonviolent. There isn't any Texas would extradite on this warrant. So we're asking that he's released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $2,000 bond and giving Texas maybe 3 days to decide whether they're going to extradite him.
We'll hear from the county attorney.
One moment, Your Honor, whilst I pull up the IC, if any, for Mr. Peoples. Judge, we are looking at a warrant out of Texas for failure to appear, theft of property over $2,500 with 2 or more previous convictions. And it lists 20,000 from the judge in Texas. If the state's not inclined to issue it at 50, the court's not inclined to issue it at 50, the state would recommend 20,000. And it does appear this is an extraditable warrant.
All right. No contact with victim. Don't go back to the incident location. No firearms or other weapons, and no alcohol or drugs. 20,000. September 12th, 2:30 is your next court date. Legal defender appointed. You're excused.
Yes.
Hello, what's your name?
Monterey Junior.
All right, a moment. You're charged with possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of narcotics. Will order, okay, there are two complaints. The other one is for robbery. Okay, the state's request on the robbery is $100,000. And on the drug charge is pretrial services supervision, and then there's a misdemeanor case. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, for Mr. Reyes, any bond is going to be akin to no bond. He is currently homeless, so we're asking for a $2,000 bond. He told me that he lives with his mother, so he's a lifelong resident of Tucson. He tells me he lives with his mother and he has no criminal history. So we're asking that he's released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $2,000 bond. Oh, and Judge, if I can correct myself, his mother did confirm that he can live with her.
Okay, thank you. We'll hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, the state's fine with PTS on the drug charge. However, on the robbery charge, it's been alleged the defendant went into a Circle K and started filling his backpack with stolen merchandise he was stealing. When approached by the employee, he decided to strike her in the face and threw a full water bottle at her, striking her in the arm. The defendant then grabbed the victim by the hair and slammed her against the window multiple times. This man is an absolute danger. This was entirely unprovoked on the part. This was entirely unprovoked, and he attacked an innocent clerk. This man is dangerous. He is a danger to society, and society ought not abide that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. $15,000 on the robbery charge. Don't go to any Circle K store, no contact with the alleged victim, and stay away. And no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Court date is September 17th at 1:30. Public defender appointed. On the drug case, no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Don't return to the incident location. Pretrial services supervision.
Judge, considering that he is going to have a $15,000 bond, would you consider a $100 bond for time credit?
Sure. All right, 1100. September 17th, 1:30. public defender appointed. All right, Tucson City Court. Charged with domestic violence assault, shoplifting, and trespassing. I do not have a pretrial services recommendation on this misdemeanor DV case. And I don't have a probable cause statement either. Well, it does say assigned to Hale. So we'll assign it to. All right, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the victim's home and workplace. So I literally have no information on this case other than the bare charges. I'm going to release you from custody. Since you're being held, though, on a felony matter, I'm going to appoint an attorney, Jeff Grinkovich, to represent you on this misdemeanor case. Non-transport review is October 21st at 10 o'clock at Tucson City Court. You're excused.
16,800.
Irene Templin?
Okay. Is this the right file? Oh, yeah, okay. It is. Anyway. Hello, what's your name?
Harvey William Chaplin.
Okay, you've got felony charges and a misdemeanor case, possession of dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and then you've got a misdemeanor case. So, let's see. And you've got a probation hold. All right, sir, I'm gonna read a statement to you. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that only requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now?
Yes.
You actually won't be because you've got a probation hold.
Yeah.
And learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing.
Sure.
So we'll schedule you into STEPS. And in the Smart Court is September 16th at 9. Preliminary hearing is gonna be October 22nd at 1:30.
Considering that he's gonna be in custody, he won't waive the preliminary hearing date.
In that case, September 17th at 1:30. Public defender appointed. And wait a minute. Pretrial services.
Again, sorry, considering that he is gonna be in custody, would you consider a $50 bond just for time credit?
Sure. All right, 50 bucks then. September 17th, 1:30. Public defender. Misdemeanor case is in Tucson City Court. Criminal trespass case from June of last year. You failed to appear and fell out of contact with your city public defender. And then you're charged with domestic violence assault, domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence disorderly conduct. And failed to appear on that one as well. That one is from this year, February. Previous conditions of probation remain in effect, or of release rather, remain in effect. We'll reappoint the public defender. $200 bond, video review September 17th, 1:45, Tucson City Court. Okay.
Questions?
All right, you get that one. You get that one. You're excused, sir.
Thank you.
But we don't. Well, hello, Your Honor. Good morning, good afternoon.
Hi, what's your name?
Fernando Toledo.
All right.
Your Honor, the state almost forgot that one, just sent it to you.
You did, okay. All right, let's see. Toledo, here it is. Okay, you're charged with possession of narcotic drug for sale, possession of dangerous drug for sale. State's asking for a $15,000 bond. We'll order no alcohol or illegal drugs. No return to the incident location, no firearms or other weapons. And as to the matter of the bond, we will hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking that Mr. Toledo is released to pretrial services, or if you're not inclined, a $3,000 bond. Pretrial services has identified this as a nonviolent felony. He has ties to Tucson. He's employed as a landscaper. And if he were released, he'd go to his mother's house.
All right, we'll hear from the county attorney.
Your Honor, I'm looking at we're looking at him dealing in drugs that are an absolute epidemic right now. Essentially, he's dealing in poison. State believes this man presents a risk to the community, and therefore, being that this is allegations of dealing, that there be a bond set as requested.
All right, thank you. Bond is set at 10,000. Legal defender appointed. Next court date is September 17th at 1:30. And that should do it. And then our last person is Mr. Solario Macedo, and I believe he's in quarantine. Oh, that's a misdemeanor case anyway. So we'll continue that one until this evening. Okay, thank you, folks. You're all excused.
Good day, Your Honor.
Judge.